So, hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Usman Farkwala. I am student of Fian School, Korangi campus. My class name is the Future Name Teacher. So, today we have a very great and honorable guest whose name is Mike Turner. So, let's try to know about him. So, I start our interview without any waste of time. So, hi, Sir Mike, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Nice to meet you, Asman.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you that you come in my show and give me your valuable time.
You're welcome.
Okay, so before moving on to questions, I want that you introduce yourself to my audience.
Okay, so my name is Mike Turner. I live in Cornwall in the southwest of England. I typically tell people that I run two businesses, which I do, but more interesting than that, perhaps. One of my businesses is a community for older people, for people that are in their 40s and 50s and above. The other business is a digital marketing agency. But I'm going to tell you something about me that people don't know. I don't know if you can see these. Can you see what these are? These are juggling balls. So, yeah, I can juggle, not just juggling balls, but I can juggle fire. And I have five daughters. There you go. So, two things about me as an individual.
It's an amazing introduction. And so, my first question is from you. Can you share a bit about your journey from bunker rock promotion and fashion to becoming an amazing activist and CEO founder of Creator Life? And what inspired this transition?
So, the transition happened over a very long period of time. I was 18 years old when I was promoting punk rock bands. And from there, I went into the fashion business, and I was in the fashion business for 25 years. And in 2003, I had a big car crash, and the car crash meant that my business closed down. Well, I didn't quite die, but I was very badly hurt, very badly bashed around in the car crash. I got involved early on. I think there's an expression: every cloud has a silver lining, and I think when you look hard enough, you will always find opportunity when you might otherwise see adversity. You might see things that are bad. And the good thing for me with the car crash was that social media was being invented. I got into it very early on. And then I did that until I still do it as a business, although I don't necessarily do it myself every day. But 2 years ago, I decided that I wanted to go back to university. When I went back to university, all the experience that I'd had up until then meant that I've started a new business aimed at older people, but recognizing that not just older people aren't past it, because lots of young people think, oh, older people, they don't know, they're over the hill. Recognizing also the strengths that young people bring to any kind of situation, whether that's business or things in a community, any organization. So long period of transition. There was no one thing. There you go.
A very good answer. And so, how do you use your diverse background in business management and fashion and social media marketing to tackle issues?
To tackle ageism. So I think, again, this comes down to perhaps the experience, just using that experience of having been. I think, yeah, most of my working life, most of the things I've done in business have been innovative. They've been right at the beginning of things. So I was not necessarily at the beginning of fashion, but certainly I was at the beginning of punk rock music. I was at the beginning of a different way of manufacturing clothing here in the UK. I was at the beginning of a different way of retail, of running shops in the UK. And again, I was at the beginning of a new way of communication with social media here in the UK. So tackling ageism, yeah, for me requires an innovative approach. It's I think in that respect, it is taking a fresh look at the way that we perceive other people, and that's not just about age. It could be about racism, sexism, disability, discrimination, any kind of discrimination where we look at certain types of people, certain sections of society, and don't value what they have to bring to the rest of society. And I think, yeah, an innovative approach, taking an innovative approach.
Okay, good. And so, what key initiatives are you currently working on at Greater Life to empower individuals and combat age-related stereotypes?
Okay, so right, so again, a couple of things here. So we've taken a holistic view of aging. So we're saying that people aren't over the hill. People historically in the UK, we have a problem. In fact, it's a problem in Western societies that we don't respect eldership. We don't respect older people in the same way as other parts of the world respect the older people in their community. So the initiatives I think that we're taking are trying to encourage older people that they have still a lot to give one way or another. That if they maintain their health, if they focus on the things that actually prolong longer health, so their diet, their exercise, living in community, and so on, they will be happier, they will be healthier. And recognizing the experience that the older people have, and also in the UK, and in fact, not just in the UK, but the USA as well. The data says that older people in their 50s, are more likely to be innovative than younger people, for instance, and helping older people recognize that they do come up with good ideas and they do come up with innovative ideas.
Okay, so how do you approach community building to support your mission?
Well, that's sort of fairly straightforward. So, community building is about encouraging people with a like mind or with similar goals to get together and communicate with each other. So that's about starting conversations and encouraging people to sort of get involved in those conversations. We do it currently on Facebook. We're looking at other means of running community that aren't necessarily just on Facebook, but it is about provoking people to actually express their opinion and provoking people to get involved. And community, one way or another, I think it's fundamental to my business, and I think it's fundamental to the future of the planet. But that's another story.
Okay, so how do you advocate for age diversity and inclusion within Fortune 500 companies?
So we don't do that specifically, but we are in the process of writing what we call a manifesto, and the manifesto is the way that we believe that government should act and large organizations. But otherwise, we don't directly get involved in Fortune 500 companies. We're involved more at grassroots with individuals, with small business owners and individuals.
Okay. So, what are the common challenges you face when addressing ageism, and how do you overcome them?
So common issues, I mean, yeah, they work two ways round, really. Ageism tends to work from young people thinking that old people are past it, old people that think that young people have nothing to contribute, that they have a lack of experience and knowledge. So the irony is that if we embraced the enthusiasm of youth with the experience of older people, and we actually got younger and older people working in harmony together, we would do a great deal better as a society. So I think something that we're very keen to get across is not just working with older people, but actually encouraging older people to work with young people to work with older people. There you go.
Okay, good. So, what strategies have you found the most effective in building supportive networks for individuals in the
Midlife
midlife
and
and beyond?
beyond. So the biggest thing I can say to that perhaps is there's an American, in fact his dad passed away, he died some years ago, but an American speaker and trainer called Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar, one of his phrases, one of his quotes was that you can have everything you want in life if you help enough other people to get what they want in life. So yeah, with this, it is about serving, it is about giving to other people, and the more that we do of that, the better that things go. So help other people.
Okay. So, can you highlight a specific success story that demonstrates the impact of creative life initiatives?
Okay, so one that worked really well is we've been working over the last 12 or 13 months with a small group of people, one of whom is a lady who's in her 60s. She wasn't when she first started working with us, or we first started coaching and mentoring her. She was very anxious about social media. She was very she was afraid. I mean, I think it's fair to say about social media, and she was also very hesitant about marketing, about putting herself out. I think over the last 12 months, we've helped her to have the confidence to express herself and express what she does. She does some amazing things with sustainable fashion and weaving with natural fibers and so on. And she now talks about it to other people. So 12 months ago, she didn't have the confidence to do that. Now she does. And she's now building a business, and her business is growing as a result. So I think that would be a great example of the kind of thing that we've been doing.
Okay. So, how do you measure the impact of creative life initiatives, and what role do you think businesses and society should play in combating
Okay,
this?
so right at the moment we don't have any specific measurements. We other than number of people that we're attracting as followers and engagement on social media, and to a slightly less degree with revenue.
Mm,
The the role that did you say, what was the second part of the question? What role about companies and organizations? How could they combat ageism? I think that was the second part. I think so. Let me answer that as if it is anyway. So, the role that companies and organisations can play is to just actually be more proactive in employing older people. There are some people here in the UK doing some great things with that. Lindsay Simpson at uh, 55 Redefined is doing some great things with encouraging large organizations to employ older people, but also at the same time, perhaps to foster an environment where we encourage younger people to speak up and actually have a part, to, something to say in their future, rather than just trying to put them down, because typically that's what older people do.
okay, so what are your goals for Greater Life's future impact?
Well, I think one of our biggest goals is to enable more people to live to 100. So that's a big statement. But yeah, we're putting together a program which we've called Project 100, and we're looking for 100 people who are committed to living to 100. That's one thing, but along the way, we're also looking in the short to medium term at how we can change the way that people are cared for. Certainly in the UK, but people are cared for in later life, and the way that people live. So encouraging communal living.
Okay. So, how do you incorporate your passion for community building into your work as a CEO founder?
I think that's just integral to what I do. Everything I do is around building community. Everything. Uh, yeah, there is an expression: if you want to go fast, go alone, and if you want to go far, go together. And I'm very much of the go far together camp. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, I'm. Yeah, my whole thing is around creating community, yeah, bringing people together, and doing good as a result.
Okay, so what motivates you to be on this active?
So what motivated me was just seeing the injustice, really, of people. We had another lady in my group who I think is 63, and she 2 years ago in 2022 she climbed Kilimanjaro, the mountain, twice. Um, and as a result, one thing that we came up with for her, because people talk about being over the hill, and we said, no, 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 we're not over the hill. We're going out to climb mountains, which is exactly what she did. And I think that was that was something that motivated me to think, yeah, let's redefine the way that people look at age. Because we don't expect people in their 60s or 70s to climb mountains, but let's redefine it.
Okay, good. So, how do you envision the evolution of creative lives impacting coming years?
I think twofold. Firstly, by virtue of education, so educating people about their potential, their potential for longer living, and their potential for happier living. People tend to think that as they get old, that's it, everything's over. Whereas for me, no, it's not over. There's still so much more to do. So education and then enrichment. So enrichment would be that potential for communal living, for better living, that potential for healthier living, for happier living. So education and enrichment, I think, are the two big things.
Okay, so tell me what advice would you give to individuals to or organization looking to combat ageism in their communication or workplaces?
Well, the biggest thing perhaps is to open up conversation. Yeah, and this is something, for instance. So um, I don't know now. I've lost track of how many students I've spoken to at the Rehan School, because last week and the week before and this week and so on, I've spoken to lots of students. Now, you could look at this. When Rehan and I first spoke, he said, "Oh, would you interview? Would you allow some of the students to interview you because it would be good experience for them?" Yeah. So his thinking was that it would be good experience for you to interview me and to interview other people. My experience is that, yeah, sure, it is good for you to interview me and to gain knowledge and to gain experience of using StreamYard and everything else that you're doing. But, and this is a really big, important point, I have gained huge amounts of insight into me because I've had people ask me questions. Yeah. And I'm speaking to people. I mean, if you just think of the barriers, so I don't even know how far Karachi is, how many thousands of miles. You're thousands of miles away. You're 5 hours ahead of me in time. We are speaking in StreamYard. You are, how old are you, Asman, if you don't mind me asking? How old?
I'm 12 years old.
You're 12 years old. You're 12 years old. You're setting out to run a business. You're learning skills that people of 20 years old don't have in the UK. And I think that's extraordinary. So I'm learning from you, and I'm also learning more about myself because I'm going through all of these interviews. So I can't even remember what the question was, but let me tell you now, this has been an extraordinary experience for me. Yeah. So yeah, remind me of the question, but that's the truth. Yeah, is that I've learned a great deal about me, and I think yeah that this is something that if I could get this across to other people, that yeah you'll learn so much more about yourself. Yeah, in these kind of situations, yeah, that would be a benefit to everybody. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, there is too much benefits of interviews, and we are learn too from you, and we are learning from your experience. Like I am 12 year old, and you are too much old, and you have too much experience from me. As you have too much experience. So when I asking you questions, so you give me answer, and then I learned from your experience. I learned more about you, and when I meet from you, so then we already have a connections. So
Yeah.
we get so this is a benefits of interviews. Yes.
It's beneficial all round, husband. I mean, that's
So now, yeah,
cool. There you go. So, more questions?
yes. So tell me about your favorite three dishes.
Tell me about your what?
Favorite three dishes.
Favorite three dishes? Oh, God, I don't. Right. So, in Cornwall, we have a thing called a Cornish pasty. So, a Cornish pasty is made with pastry. So, oh, what? I can't even think. Um, do you eat samosas? Do you eat samosas? Samosas are more of an Indian thing, I
Yes.
think. But yeah,
Yes.
it's a pastry. So pastry with meat and potato and onion inside. And then pizza. I love pizza. Do you like pizza? Yeah, I
Yes.
love
I
yeah.
also like.
Yeah, and then otherwise anything that's hot, spicy, I like. So there's my favorite three dishes.
Okay. Good. So tell me if you have a genie and the genie's lamp, and you are mic of a genie. So if a genie asks you about your three wishes, so which wishes you want that genie complete?
Okay, so three wishes. Three wishes. Oh, that's really hard. Really hard. I think if I had three wishes, it would be to for the work we're doing with Greater Life to happen quicker. Yeah, to have more people around me to help make that happen. That would be one wish, and and then I think okay, right. So then I think for my children. So I have five daughters. I told you. For my daughters to have the security, to have security for the future. Um, Two of them are pretty secure already, the older two. The younger three to have greater security for their future with their work and their relationships and their home life and so on. And then a third, I tell you what, a third, I'd like to come and visit you guys. I need to get the money together or a genie to go, yep, there's the flight, there's the tickets. Yeah. So, yeah, to travel more, but I would like to travel and learn while I'm traveling. So, yeah, I have it in my, we have a thing called a bucket list. Do you know what a bucket list is? Yeah, you pretend you have a bucket and you put all the things you want to do in the bucket. Yeah.
Yes.
So on
Yeah.
my bucket list now is to come to Karachi. Yeah, it's something I want to do in the future. So now I just need to put it out there and make a way for it to happen. Is that cool? 3 wishes.
Okay, so lastly, what advice would you like to give my audience?
Oh no, don't go, don't go. This is what happens, live TV, folks. I'll sit here drinking Earl Grey from my John Lewis cup. Hopefully, Asman will be back with us at some point soon when the internet rearranges itself in Pakistan. It's incredible. Yeah, I don't know if this bit is live actually, if this bit's still being recorded, but yeah, it's remarkable what what's happening, how these guys are able to overcome the issues of.
So
Are you
in the
back?
here,
Yeah,
so,
you're cool.
so here is too much net issues. So lastly, what advice would you like to give my audience?
Would I give your audience right? So at this point, I've told a lot of people, yeah. So a lot of the guys that have interviewed me, I've said, oh, just focus on one thing and stick to one thing, do one thing well, and so on. I'm going to give you a different bit of advice, which is to focus on happiness. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So do things that make you happy, because when you do things that make you happy, you are more motivated to do those things. Now, that's not assuming, that's assuming that you don't just lie around playing on the Xbox all day because that makes you happy. Yeah, what will actually make you happier is doing things for and with other people. But do the things that make you happy, because when you're happy, you will do more of them. So that would be my advice. Do the things that make you happy, and more importantly, make other people happy too.
Good advice for
Thank you
my
very
audience.
much.
Okay, so everyone, my name is Usman Barkwala and my guest for today is my Kendall. So I want to end my today program with a message that every Pakistani earn $500 by work and share knowledge and increase their knowledge. So sir, thank you so much for your valuable time and share this insightful information with me and my audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Osman, and good luck to you. Take good care.
Okay, take care. And
Okay.
lastly, I also want to invite you in our school, Rehan School, Korangi campus. So when you come in Karachi, so also come in Rehan School.
Okay. Well, yeah, listen, I'm going to talk to Rehan about how we make that happen, but I would love to come. You take care.
Okay. Take care.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.